Alright, good afternoon everyone. We're going to start over here on the right. We're going to have you stand up, introduce yourself to Professor Voss, and let them know who you are and what you are to me.
Hello, I'm Joseph and I'm a friend.
Hi, I'm Donald and I'm a friend.
I'm Willow and I'm the neighbor.
I'm Alex and I'm a friend.
Denise and I'm a friend.
Alright guys, thank you all for coming. My title today on my speech is The Good Old Days. Whatever happened to the good old days? Lifestyle, generation gaps, there is always a great divide between the perception of both the young people and the adults. That's what happened to the good old days. It's the past. My speech today is to convince you that lifestyles, rapid changes, and science and technologies versus older generations has transformed our outlook towards life, increasing the divide much more than has ever happened in the past. And with a change in lifestyle, attitudes and values also undergo a transformation. Do you agree that no two generations have shared the same views and options?
Yes.
However, would you also agree that there has never been a greater divide between two generations than in modern times?
Yes.
Okay, with rapid science and technology, the exposure which today's teenagers is getting is enormous. Value systems has gradually degenerated and the youth is assimilating a new culture. The result is confused parents who are unable to reconcile the views of their children. I'm also here to convince you guys that there is a great divide between the perception of both the young and the old. One may find that both are unable to communicate with each other quite often. One of the reasons could be that neither knows what the other is interested in, even though they live up under the same roof. This gap results in direct confrontation between the young and the old. This is a universal truth which is applicable to all times, be it the past or the future. My parents beautifully depicts this confrontation between the young and the old. I represent the older generation of the 20th century, and the younger generation is represented by my sons and daughters of the 20th century. Generation gap is not only reflected in the choice of dresses, but also in music. I know we have all heard our parents say, "What is that I'm listening to? What is that we hear?" Opinions and other behavior patterns. The younger generation, which has acquired a different set of values, rebels against the older generation as they wish to impose their own value system on them. We all have said about our parents, just don't understand. Kids resist the forceful intrusion as they are unable to reconcile with the thought of accepting what they think has become outdated. The parents' displeasure is obviously natural as it is in defiance of their authority and the right way to lead one's life. Parents fail to realize that the will of change is irreversible, and those who do not move with it tend to become disillusional, aggravated conflict. The kids are moving much faster on the technology track. We most definitely have to agree about that, as well as in our daily life, than our parents. Children today are capable of using complicated gadgets, and this phenomenon, superior knowledge children as compared to adults, has never happened as much as now in 13 societies. We always hear that these kids have been here before. The conflict arises when adults stick to their old ways and refuse to accept any change, while the world rapidly moves ahead of them. In short, generation gap is nothing but the resistance in adults to adapt to change. They forget that the only thing constant in life is change. The realization requires a lot of patience and understanding of change perceptions. I have a PowerPoint today for you guys titled The Good Old Days. Whatever happened to the good old days? I don't know if a lot of you young ones remember good times. Of course, I don't know if a lot of old ones knows about wife and kids. We have the retro phone, and now we're with modern technology of our smartphones. We used to use telephone books to look up everything, but now we have internet and computers connect worldwide to look up the things that we need. This is a depict of the good old days. And here's one coming up of our modern days. Our modern family. The adults need to look back and introspect and think also the difference they had with their parents. No doubt memory is she lived and one tends to forget the past, which they are fond of referring to the good old days. Where they as children were obedient, respectful, and servile. But it's 2014 now, and change is among us. Look at our sons and daughters. We are their roots, they are our branches. Let them stretch and grow and reach to new heights. It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one that most responsive to change. Thank you guys, and that's the end of my speech. The good old days.